In this week's parsha, the Torah tells us about the famous concept of a bris milah, how a child at 8 days old needs to get circumcised with all the appropriate halachos that apply to it. One of the famous halachos known about a bris milah is that it can only happen during the day. We learned that out from the Gemara. There are different Sfarim that tell us that. A bris milah is only fully good and kosher when it was done during the day. What's interesting is that one of the first times that the Jewish people were commanded to have a bris milah, it was actually done specifically in the night. When the Jews are about to leave Egypt, they are commanded to bring the Karban Pesach, the Pesach offering. One of the requirements was that every single Jew needed to have a bris milah. Some of the Yidden did not want to have one, and at night when everyone was eating there, they got jealous, and once again they were reminded that they can only partake in the meat of the Karban Pesach if they have a bris milah, and that is when most Jews actually gave themselves a circumcision at night, based on the commandment that Hashem gave to Moshe. But why is it that when Hashem commanded something, yes, this was before the Torah was formally given, but if this is a clause that is an absolute no-no in today's time, you cannot make a bris milah at night nowadays, why was that the command to do so when the Jews were preparing to leave Egypt? You can't say that the commandment to circumcise was just before Yom Tov started, because if you look at the story, the Jewish people only wanted to get circumcised once they saw other Jews eating the meat of the Karban Pesach, which is something that could only be eaten at night. So we have to understand what's going on here. It explains the Rebbe that it's very simple. Because when it came to the Exodus from Egypt, when it came to Yetzias Mitzrayim, there was a concept where the night of Mitzrayim, the darkness, didn't matter anymore. Because the Geula, the redemption that Hashem brought us out of Egypt, was done in such a unlimited way that there were no limitations. Echoed by the Pasuk, V'layla k'yayim yair, the night shined like day. That being said, if the night shined like day, then there was no night and day. And more than that, if the whole idea of the Geula, if the whole redemption from Egypt was done in an unlimited fashion, as we saw with all the Makkos, as we saw with the entire chain of events, nothing made sense according to nature, then it was only fitting that the way the circumcision, which would lead to the Exodus, the bris milah that would lead to the Geula, is only fitting to be done in an unlimited backwards manner. And that would be at night, because what we're trying to show is that the Geula, the redemption from Egypt, was in such an unlimited manner that it was completely beyond the confines of any limitation, any law, and any requirement. However, after Matan Torah, once the Torah was given, it's not just about Hashem anymore. The focus now shifts to us. What are we doing to actually make this world a better place? Beforehand, it was basically Hashem's commandments and His miracles and whatever He chooses to be done to the Yidden. Now, in addition to that, the spotlight shifts to us. Hashem gave us the Torah and its laws, commanding us that within our limited framework, we bring an unlimited energy. That being said, there are still laws. The bris milah can only be done by day. We are living in a specific framework of time and place. There are things we could do and things we can't do. These circumstances are different now than they were before the Jews left Egypt, and therefore the laws are also different. And explains the Rebbe this was not just a one-time thing that expires nowadays once we have the Torah and once we are placed in our limitations. The idea is that every generation, every day, every moment we have our personal Egypt, we have our personal Mitzrayim that we need to go out of. And every single day we're able to tap into that unlimited energy in a small form. Whether you find yourself in a place of light, whether you find yourself in a place of dark, we always have to realize that we have the ability not to break halacha, not to break the Torah, but to use Torah to push us higher. We have the same unlimited powers of Yetzias Mitzrayim, just focused in a slightly different way. We're not overriding halacha. We're using the Torah, we're using its mitzvahs, we're using the things that we learn to guide us through our personal challenges. And by doing that, we will be able to accomplish the same result that was accomplished all those years ago, and that is complete success. No more challenges, no more hardships. And ultimately that will lead us to our version of Yetzias Mitzrayim, which is the redemption from our Golus, the redemption from our exile with the coming of Mashiach. May he come speedily in our days. Wishing you a good Shabbos.